In Spanish, to say because, you don't always use the word porque. Instead, sometimes you'll just use the word por. This might be confusing at first, but in the next 5 minutes, we're going to make this crystal clear. I'll also give you a simple hack that you can use to choose between either one in any situation. We have to start by talking about the word por. This word by itself actually means because of. Imagine you want to say, I'm here because of the food. In Spanish, that's estoy aquí por la comida. Notice what happens. The word por is followed directly by the noun la comida. And to get technical, that's because por is a preposition. And the general rule about prepositions is that they're always followed by some sort of noun or pronoun. But the word because in English is not a preposition. Instead, it's a conjunction, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But that's why we can't say things like this in English. I'm here because the food. Okay, as a side note, you might actually run into sentences like this. There is something weird happening to the word because in English. Some people have been starting to use it as a preposition in the last couple of decades. You can read about this in this article in The Atlantic called English has a new preposition because internet. But as you probably know, English traditionally doesn't say things like because internet or because food. We instead say because of internet or because of food. But let's talk about what this actually means for your Spanish. The rule is that whenever you would traditionally say because of in English, you'll always say por in Spanish, not porque. Here are some more examples. They left because of the rain. Se fueron por la lluvia. They have to be here because of you. Tienen que estar aquí por ti. He's tired because of the football match. Está cansado por el partido de fútbol. Notice that in each case, the thing right after because of, or por, is some sort of noun or noun phrase that is the reason behind things. That's when we'll use por. So this begs the question, what about the word porque? This is how the dictionary says you should translate the word because from English to Spanish. So here's when you'd use that. Check out this sentence in English. I'm here because he's here. If we tried to use por here, we'd run into a problem. Look closely. Right after the word because, we don't really have a noun as the reason behind things. Instead, the reason that we're describing is an entire fact. He's here. The phrase he's here would be an entire sentence by itself, not just some sort of noun. And like we said, por is a preposition, so it has to be followed by some sort of noun. So we can't just say, estoy aquí por él está aquí. That just doesn't work. So this is where we would use porque. The correct sentence is, estoy aquí porque él está aquí. It's a little fun to look at why the word is porque. Imagine that once upon a time, Spanish speakers were saying por followed by a noun all the time, and that would happen in phrases like, estoy aquí por la comida. I'm here because of the food. But sometimes they would replace the food with some sort of fact, like the fact that he's here. To do that, you have to use a que phrase. So, que él está aquí means that he's here, or the fact that he's here. The thing is, phrases like this that start with que actually can be treated as a noun. So we would say something like, estoy aquí por que él está aquí. So here, in technical terms, we actually are using the preposition por, and we're putting a noun after it. But the noun is the fact that he's here, or that he's here. So this is literally, I'm here because of that he is here, or I'm here because of the fact that he is here. Over time, because this happens so often, Spanish fused these two words together, por and que. That gave us the word porque, which is a conjunction, a lot like the English conjunction because. And the difference between por and porque may seem subtle, but you will very clearly choose between them, even in some similar situations. Here's an example where we would clearly choose one or the other. I'm here because of the food. Estoy aquí por la comida. I'm here because the food is good. Estoy aquí porque la comida es buena. The second one is literally, I'm here because of that the food is good. But maybe more importantly, look at what comes after it. After por, we have la comida, which is just a noun, And after porque, we have a whole sentence. The food is good. Okay, now for the simple hack. If you don't find all this nerdy grammar stuff as fun as I do, here's a rule you can apply in every situation. Because of translates to por. Because translates to porque, but only when there's no of. A fun way to remember this is that in English, the long phrase because of shrinks down to the shorter Spanish word por. But the shorter English word, because, expands to the longer Spanish word, porque. So that might feel backwards, but it is consistent. And once you see it this way, it's really easy to remember. Let's put this into practice. I'm going to give you some English sentences, and you should try to predict whether to use por or porque in the Spanish. Remember that because of always translates to por, but you'll use porque when we have the word because without the word of. All right, first example. I'm here because of my family. Estoy aquí por mi familia. He's happy because you are here. Está feliz porque tú estás aquí. They are here because of you. Están aquí por ti. We're here because the coffee is good. Estamos aquí porque el café es bueno. We're here because of the coffee. Estamos aquí por el café. So how'd you do? To polish this even more, we have a full lesson on this in our free Spanish course. Just go to SpanishVideoCourse.com and head over to lesson 59. There, we do a deep dive on this with even more examples and free flashcards to practice this. SpanishVideoCourse.com guides you through all the tricky stuff at the heart of the Spanish language. Ser versus estar, por versus para, subjunctives, preterites, imperfects, and it focuses on the top 1,000 words that make up the vast majority of everyday Spanish conversation. This is a serious, evidence-based program designed to get you speaking fluently, not just memorizing random words. It's 100% free at SpanishVideoCourse.com. Just click the link in the description to join. And of course, subscribe to this channel so you don't miss my next deep dive into Spanish grammar and study hacks that'll get you speaking Spanish fluently faster than ever.